Yo, what is up, guys? James Carter TV here to give my picks for Week 4 of the NFL regular season. This is where we're going to get a better picture of how good these teams are going to be, possibly. Because, we can still not let up the fact that there could be a team or two that turns things around, or there could be a team or two that completely falls down due to injuries or just, ineptitude. So we'll keep that in mind as the season progresses, but this is where most of the teams separate themselves as contenders and pretenders. And with that said, let's start off with two guys that are kind of in the middle in that category. We have the New York Giants at the Washington Redskins. Now, I've been saying ever since RG3 went down that RG3 would never start another game for the Washington Redskins, and that Kirk Cousins was going to absolutely take off in the new Jay Gruden offense. And as we saw last week, that is certainly the case. Now, it was the Eagles' defense, and they have a terrible, terrible defense. So we'll see what Kirk Cousins can do tonight. But I have faith in Kirk Cousins. I have faith in Kirk Cousins in this Jay Gruden offense, and I'm going to pick them to win this game because of that. Redskins 20, I think, what I have it? Redskins 27, Giants 23. We move on to the Sunday games. We have the Carolina Panthers at the Baltimore Ravens. I have the Ravens taking this one. Man, you better watch this game if you're interested in the whole Steve Smith storyline and timeline, because, man, he is a pissed off old man, and he may fight a couple niggas at this game. I mean, he's not happy, and now he gets to go up against his former team, and it's not going to be good. And I have to pick the Ravens pretty much just because of that. I think he is so motivated, and the Ravens have shown that the Ray Rice scandal is not going to distract them away from the thing. They won 26-6 2 weeks ago. Verified, no worries there. And they went to Cleveland, won in Cleveland. The Ravens are back, and they're going to win this one at home. We have the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Now, I wanted to pick the Bears here. Because going into the season, I had projected the Bears beating the Packers at home and the Packers beating the Bears at home. But now that I look at this and I look at the scenarios and I look at Green Bay struggling early, they're 1-2. I look at the Bears winning their past 2 games, they're 2-1. I think we're going to have a little role reversal. I think the Packers are going to win this game in Chicago 31-27, but I'm not going to discount the fact that the Bears could easily win this game and send the Packers to a very tight and difficult spot. That is most definitely a scenario, and if the Bears were able to do that, I wouldn't be that, hyper on the Bears, though, because we know how easily things can fall apart. Why? Because they do this every year. So if the Bears do win this game, let us not overreact and say that the Bears are winning the NFC North. Let us not make that prognostication. We have the Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans. I've been low on Houston. I picked them to lose every single game this season, and I'm 1-2 doing that. But I'm still low on them. And Ryan Fitzpatrick proved why last week. He was awful. And I think he'll continue to be awful. I think the Bills go to Houston inside that dome, and I think they get a victory before losing next week. And I think the Texans will win next week. So, it's kind of looking forward into the looking glass. But I think the Bills, they've shown that they can go on the road and win. They went to Chicago, game 1 and won. I think they can go to Houston and win this one. We have the Tennessee Titans, my Tennessee Titans, at the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I'm not going to be biased. I'm never biased. I'm 2-1 picking the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to be 3-1. The Tennessee Titans are going to lose this game 27-20. It will appear to be closer than what it was, because even though the Titans stunk last week, I don't think that they're that bad. I just think Jake Locker is that bad, and he may not even play this week. And so I think their defense will keep it close. I think Ray Horton got onto them this week, and they'll keep it close. But ultimately, once again, the offense will not be good enough, and the Colts will walk out with a victory. We have the Detroit Lions at the New York Football Jets. The Jets have lost their last 2 games in pretty close fashion. They lost to the Bears in a pretty close game, and then they lost to, I can't even remember who they lost to before that. I think they're going to win this one, though. They're hosting Detroit. This is a Rex Ryan game. Like, he finds ways to win this game. It's a must-win. You don't want to go into that 1-3 hole. The Lions just won last week against a divisional opponent. Now they're on the road at New York. I think Rex Ryan's coaching will get them the victory, and they'll put it off they'll pull it off against Detroit. We have the Miami Dolphins at the Oakland Raiders in London. Now, if this game was in Oakland, I was fully prepared to pick the Oakland Raiders, but considering the fact that it is not, I would go with the better team. I would go with the Miami Dolphins to win this game. However, I am admitting the fact that I said earlier this season the Dolphins stink. They proved it last week, so I will not be surprised if Derek Carr gets his first regular season win this week. However, I would give the Dolphins the benefit of the doubt, and I will pick them to win this game 24-20. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Bucs stink. They showed that on national television last week, and I think we're going to see the better Bucs team this week. Why? Because Mike Glennon is at the helm, and I've been saying since week 1, I've been saying since the preseason, Mike Glennon should start over Josh McCown. Why? Because Josh McCown is a 35-year-old man who had one good season. I'm not going to trust that shit. Let's trust Mike Glennon, who had a pretty good rookie season and can progress to be an even better quarterback. And if you want to play defense, the Buccaneers want to play defense, even though the defense isn't that good. They want to play defense. Mike Glennon loves to play the conservative type game, and that can help keep this game close. But ultimately, I think the Steelers win this one 24-17. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the San Diego Chargers. The Jaguars suck. Hey, Gil Brand of NFL.com, how do you feel after picking the Jaguars to go 10-6? It was absolute ludicrous from the very beginning. It was a mockery. It was an abomination. And I want to ask all of you out there. I mean, you people tried to tell me that Gus Bradley is such a great coach. I hear Gus Bradley is such a great coach, such a great coach, such a great coach. I mean, I'm sorry. Rebuilding in the NFL does not take this long. I don't care if you're going from the ground up. Rebuilding in the NFL does not take this long. And if it takes you this long, 3 years now, this is third year, and your team is still an abomination, I think he should be out of there. That's just me. At the end of the season, I know they have Bortles, they have a good future. Well, it's his fault for not starting him. Now he's starting him. Now he wised up and is starting him. But I don't understand how a coach says, you know who our starting quarterback is going to be? Chad Henne, because that's the guy who's going to win us football games. That is a decision that should have had him booted out the door. I have a very small line on Gus Bradley, unlike most of you, and I think as the season progresses, you will soon be on my side when it comes to this. Because Gus Bradley, this is his third year, the Jaguars are still an abomination. And that is not okay. It does not take that long to rebuild in the NFL. It doesn't take that long. We have the Atlanta Falcons at the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, man. I mean, this is my upset of the week. Teddy Bridgewater is now starting for the Minnesota Vikings. And as we saw in last week's game against the New Orleans Saints, he does bring a sense of energy and excitement to the Minnesota Vikings. The Saints game appeared to become a blowout, but then Teddy Bridgewater kept them close. I think something about him, and I loved him. I had him as my #1 quarterback coming out of college. I think there's something about him. I think he's going to come out, get his first win against the Falcons. I don't think the Falcons are very good at, on the road. We saw that week 1 or week 2. And I think we're going to see it again. So, Falcons, yeah, week 2 at Cincinnati did not play well. Now at Minnesota, I think Minnesota will take advantage. They're not the better team, but they're the better team at this instance. I'm picking the Vikings to win 27-24. We have the Philadelphia Eagles at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers pretty much need to win this game. I mean, people presume that the Seattle Seahawks are going to win 13-3. Now, I'm not on that bandwagon, but people presume that. I'll let them presume that. If that's the case, San Francisco really needs to get on it. And Arizona, they're not looking too shabby either. They're 3-0. So San Francisco needs to catch up to these boys because these guys in the division, they're owning it right now. And I think they will. I think San Francisco will win this one 31-27. Eagles have been looking real well. If they win this one, I am completely on the Eagles bandwagon. But I don't think that they will. I think the 49ers get it done at home. I trust Jim Harbaugh to win a must-win game. We have the New Orleans Saints at the Dallas Cowboys. It's the Saints. And this is one that I pick with a lot of skepticism because, man, the Cowboys could really easily win this game, guys. I mean, the Cowboys could really win this game, but I want to hold out hope. I want to hold out hope for the New Orleans Saints, but keep your eye on this matchup because this could be a matchup that I change, okay? Just keep your eye on this one. And as I'm talking, I think I'm already changing it as I hear these words coming out of my mouth. keep your eye on this game. I will tweet if I change my opinion on this game. But for now, I have the Saints winning 34-31. We have the New England Patriots at the Kansas City Chiefs. Patriots. And I really wanted to pick the Chiefs in this one, but, I mean, Jamal Charles has 9 rushes for 23 yards on the season. On the NFL season. And he might play this week, he might not, and if he does, what evidence suggests that he's going to make a difference? This season, there's no evidence to suggest such a thing. So the Patriots, they struggled on the road at Miami, and that gives me a little wariness, but I think they'll get it done in Kansas City. Now, that ends this NFL Week 4 predictions, but I'm really considering changing that New Orleans Saints at Dallas Cowboys pick, so if I change that, you will be the first one to know. But besides that, all my picks are concrete, barring injuries. So with that said, James Carter TV, until next time, I'm out. Peace.